What's up, residents? Jacob here. If Godzilla is so powerful in the MonsterVerse, and we know that at one point in the timeline that there were many others of his kind roaming the surface of the earth and below, well then, what the hell happened to them all? After Godzilla vs. Kong, it seemed really weird that a monster this powerful somehow had all the other members of his species killed off. Now, the G-Man was juiced all to hell in this movie, but honestly, that didn't really even matter as he hardly took any injuries in the entire battle against Kong. Even back in the ancient past, our Godzilla lost that fight to an ancient Kong and still he wasn't killed. Maybe Godzilla really is the best of his kind to ever live, but in this more animalistic version of the creature, we can tell that if he is capable of all this awesomeness, then it's likely the rest of his kind was like that too. We've compared Godzilla to a bear before in the past, and it's not like you see some bears out here surviving falling from space and living through atomic bombs while the others are squished and obliterated. Weird example, back to the theory now. This video will theorize on what really happened to the other members of Godzilla's species with our newfound knowledge we received from watching Godzilla vs. Kong. Stomp the subscribe button and hit the bell. Let's get to it. What do we know so far about Godzilla's fellow species members? We know about Dagon, who survived and was active all the way up to early human civilization on the surface of the planet before being killed by the Muto Prime. We know the Mutos killed some Gojira, but if they were always killing them, then it wouldn't be Godzilla ruling the Earth, it would be the Mutos. So that rules them out for being the main reason why all of the Gojira are gone. We know about the Titan War, where the Kongs were certainly able to kill at least a few of Godzilla's relatives. But just like the Mutos, if Godzilla was easily able to hand it to Kong, then I can't see them losing many members in this war. It all really boils down to one thing though. How many Gojira were alive all at once during their peak population? A hard question to answer. So this Titan War we all like to theorize about may have been much less of a war than we have been thinking, and more of just a small family feud with 300-foot tall monsters. We may all be overestimating how many Titans were actually involved in this war. There's only one official image from the war that shows more than one Gojira in the same area at once, being the cave art deleted scene that shows two Gojis, and then the third one in the sky with the wings. Meanwhile, there's evidence to support the Kong family having at least dozens, maybe all the way up to 100 community members during their peak populations. An odd issue with the MonsterVerse comes up here, and that's that it seems like the Gojira and the Kongs are the only Mega Titans, the bigger ones, not Skullcrawlers and all that, in the lore to have evidence of more than one individual ever existing of their kind. Only one Rodan, only one Mothra, Methuselah, Behemoth, Scylla, you get the point. But somehow there were plenty of apes and atomic lizards. Just a weird plot issue there that doesn't help the continuity of the lore much. But getting back to our topic, we have proof of at least 5 likely Gojira species members confirmed in the lore. Godzilla, Dagon, the Flying Goji, the giant one with the axe jammed in its skull, and at least one member who was chopped up and turned into the Kong battle axes in the first place. If evidence supports 5 of them, but the possibility of more, we can safely predict that at the species' peak, there were 10 to 15 Goji roaming Earth at once. Maybe. But now we just have Godzilla. Now we know many of them died, whether by the Mutos, Ghidorah, the Kongs and humans. But we are forgetting the possibility of them thinning the herd, you could say, and the stronger ones killing off the weak. Natural selection is when nature decides the fate of an individual or species, and perhaps only the best Goji survived and were worthy of ruling the Earth. Especially if Godzilla is supposed to represent the best Earth has to offer. There could have been internal conflicts due to their alpha nature, and perhaps some Gojis fed on the radiation spewing from their dead comrades' bodies after they killed them. Godzilla let Dagon die, remember that, so it's easy to say that their kind doesn't have any sort of family bond with one another. An alligator mother may eat one of her babies if they venture back to her territory after leaving the nest. So who's to say the Gojira are much different? At the end of the day, perhaps Godzilla lived because he was the smartest of his kind, and nature had selected him to take the mantle of control after the others of his kind were dead or gone, and Dagon had proved unable to defend itself from the Muto Prime. but we cannot rule out the possibility of another Goji still being out there, somewhere in the vastness of Earth or the Hollow Earth, just waiting for someone to wake it up. Maybe we will learn more about the MonsterVerse's past, but until then, consider becoming a resident of Dangerville. Alright guys, if you enjoyed that video and you want more MonsterVerse theories, like the video, share it around, let me know you want more, get the algorithm all fired up, and I hope you all have a good day. As always, this has been Jacob, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. The world is changed. Review channels have lost their touch. I see it in the comments. I feel it in their content. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. It began with the reaction videos, making weird faces, or not even reacting at all. Fandoms have been torn apart, and many have left these once proud communities. For their opinions have poisoned their minds of what is true. Creators influencing their army of 12-year-olds to drive the review ratings to the ground, regardless of the quality of the film. But they were all deceived. For another channel was made, deep in the middle of fucking nowhere. A new way of reviewing entertainment. 3 ratings to rule them all.